guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Louise and I talk about how to engage with fashion in more conscious and sustainable ways. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about designer bags. I'm going to be sharing my opinion on a few popular styles, and I'm also going to discuss whether or not they are a good investment and if they are more sustainable than other bags. So let's dive in. So if you know me, you know that I have always had a weak spot for bags and shoes. In fact, one of my earliest memories in life was when I was with my mom in this like handbag slash shoe store as a child, and she told me that we had to leave, and I was just like bawling my eyes out, crying because I really didn't want to leave all of these beautiful bags and shoes. I'm not really sure why or how this sudden interest started, but it has certainly stuck with me through life. And I think when it comes to my outfits and my sense of personal style, a common theme for me has always been to rely on my shoes or my bag to sort of make my outfit. I find that these are the final touch which either make or break my outfit. And that is why I am also very keen to have bags that I really love, but because I am a perfectionist, I am also very picky about which bags I like. Enter the designer handbag. Of course, designer handbags aren't for everyone, and I know a lot of people don't find them as exciting or as desirable, maybe as I do. Designer handbags are expensive, and sometimes they may even be unattainable or hard to get a hold of, but for me, there is just something about the feeling of a really well-crafted handbag that I can't seem to replace or get rid of. So let's dive into the fun part. What does your designer handbag say about you? And I want to disclaim that this video is purely for fun. I hope that you won't find it offensive in any way. I'm just a girl who loves handbags, and I feel like it would be fun to share my opinion on a few popular designer handbags at the minute. Starting off with the Goyard St. Louis. If you wear this bag, I feel like you are someone who lives a big city life and you can't ever seem to leave your house without a bunch of things. Like, you're the type of person who, if you ask them, like, do you have gum? Do you have a band-aid? Do you have hand cream? Like, you will have that in your massive tote bag. I really like the look of these totes. I think it's probably because they come in so many colors that I like just the way that they pop out against a quite like anonymous outfit. I will say that the price for this tote is a bit on the expensive side, even for a designer handbag, just because I don't think that there's anything groundbreaking about the design or the structure of the bag. Then of course, I haven't seen this bag actually in real life because obviously it's an expensive bag, and so it's quite rare to see like out on the street, at least where I live. I think it's a cute bag. I think that if you would buy this bag, you would probably get a lot of use out of it just because it is so practical. Would I buy it? Yes, I would. I would probably not buy it like new, maybe. I would try and get it off Vestiaire Collective or another vintage site to see sort of what colors they have. I do like the green or the blue one the most, so I would probably look out for those ones. The next bag is the Bottega Veneta Jody bag, and I'm sure even if you don't know the name, you've probably seen this bag a million times. I like this bag because it has no logo, and the weaved leather is a staple design for this brand in particular, so I like that they are able to communicate their brand without showing off like this huge flashy logo. So if you wear this bag, you're probably someone who likes to follow trends. You're probably also the type of person who manages to look chic and put together at all times. And with that said, I don't think that this bag looks really practical because it is quite small and the handle is also quite short. So So just like trying to reach in and out and get stuff out of your bag, I feel like would be a hassle with this particular style. I will also say that I prefer the bolder colors more so than the neutral ones. I will say that the price does make sense for this brand, for this style of bag. With that said, would I buy it? Probably not, just because it's quite... I can't really see myself wearing this bag a lot. I like it on others, but I wouldn't wear it myself. If I like had to get it, I would get it in a pastel color or like a bold color. Moving on to the Gucci Jackie bag. If you wear this bag, in particular the vintage one, you are very cool. I feel like you're a grown-up if you have this bag. You have full control of your life. You have a plan. You're a person with a plan. I feel like this bag is very ladylike, and I feel like that has to do with the shape and the format of this bag, which gives off a quite feminine vibe. It is undoubtedly a classic style, and I think what sets it apart from other shoulder bags is the fact that it seems to fit quite a lot of stuff. I will say for the price of this bag, you will get a quite practical shoulder bag. So would I buy this bag? I would probably not buy a new one, and I would probably not buy the ones which are just like plain leather and the newer one which has more structure. If I would buy a Gucci Jackie bag, I would probably buy a vintage one which is a little bit more slouchy, or I would buy one with a print like the Gucci prints, because I find them to be a little bit more fun, and I like the contrast between the print and the more like classic shape. Then we have the Prada Nylon bag, and if you wear this bag, you're probably someone like me who was born in the 90s and you grew up in the early 2000s, and so you probably have like an inexplicable love for tiny bags. I will say you did not buy this bag for practical reasons. You bought it purely as an accessory. Even so, I love this bag because it is nylon, and in my opinion, just the style of this bag is the perfect mix of like girly and sporty, and you can wear it to so many different events and occasions. And I guess it comes to you as no shock that yes, I would definitely buy this bag. In fact, it is on my list, and I am kind of deciding like which color I would get. I really like this like sky blue one, and I also quite like the simple beige one, so we will see which one I end up getting if I do get one. So let's discuss, are designer bags still on trend? I feel like designer bags were definitely more popular in the early 2000s rather than they are today. Certainly when I grew up, it was the era of like Paris Hilton and Gossip Girl, and before that, of course, there was Sex and the City and Carrie Bradshaw and all of her like Fendi baguettes bags. These days, I would argue that there is much less emphasis on so-called it bags, and I think in part that has to do with the fact that they have become less and less attainable for the average consumer. Like the prices of designer handbags are just skyrocketing. And I also believe that flashing your brand or having a lot of visible logos is quite off trend. So the demand for designer handbags, just like spontaneously, I'm thinking out loud here, feels like it has probably died down a bit. So you may be wondering, okay Louise, enough talking, I want to know, which designer bags do you have if you are such an expert? And that's a fair question. So my most recent bag is the Isabel Marant Oscan Moon bag, and I know that some people would argue that that's not really a designer bag, it's more like an affordable luxury label. It's not like one of the classic fashion houses. With that said, it is a high quality bag and I do get a lot of use from it. I bought it last summer, and typically I'm not like a gold person despite wearing all gold jewelry now, but the gold studs on this bag works really well with all of my summer outfits. and I find that it just makes my outfit complete. I also have a red Balenciaga City bag, and I love this bag. It's so practical. I can fit quite a lot in that bag. It's the perfect size for like phone, charger, book. I tend to carry a book with me when I travel, a pair of big headphones, little snack, a drink. So it fits more than your average handbag. It doesn't fit a laptop, but that's okay, can't get it all. I got it on Vestiaire Collective a couple of years ago, and it was like a fraction of the original price, but the condition was pristine. Like, it was so good, it was like brand new. And the only thing I don't really enjoy about this bag is that it has a print Balenciaga on the actual strap, but it doesn't really show that much, and I tend to just ignore it whenever I wear it. Then I have a Saint Laurent Sac de Jouve Souple bag. I hope that I didn't like butcher the name of that bag, but it's this like classic tote bag, and I used to wear this a lot when I worked in an office. It fits my laptop, and so that's why. And it's no doubt a classic style of bag, but the bag in itself, it's quite heavy, and like, even if I don't bring my laptop, it is a burden to bring with me, and I don't really want to feel that way when I'm wearing a handbag, so I don't tend to reach for it as much these days. So I have been thinking about selling that one and maybe replacing it with something a bit more practical and that fits my lifestyle right now. So are designer handbags more sustainable? Well, when it comes to sustainability of designer labels, I want to emphasize that just because a bag has a certain label, it doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's high quality. In reviews and forums online, you will find a lot of people arguing that the quality of vintage luxury items is much better than the luxury items produced today. With this said, designer handbags do generally have high standards when it comes to craftsmanship, design, and durability, and they're typically made from premium materials such as like top grain leather, which is more durable, and also it ages better than lower quality materials. Some designer bags are also handmade, and they are crafted by like high skilled artisans who have perfected their skill over years, maybe even like generations. Then there are of course classic, timeless designer handbags which seem to never go out of style. And I would argue that this aspect also may contribute to a more sustainable consumption pattern, at least for me. Whenever I bought a designer bag, it's been one of the classic styles because I know that I will get a lot of use out of it. And it's also because of the fact that my budget only allows for so many bags, and so I tend to pick the most timeless ones. However, for people that have more money to spend on bags, then of course that may not be the case. Like, if you have more money, then you're probably going to buy more bags. So how can you motivate the price of a designer handbag? Well, designer handbags are produced in limited quantities, and this makes them more unique, and some of them are only sold via their own sales channels, so they only like sell them in their own stores and they don't use resellers. The Chanel Classic Flap is a bag that a lot of people want, and if you combine that demand for that particular bag with the quality of the bag and the limited accessibility, then that would give you some insight as to why the price of that particular bag has skyrocketed. With that said, I find it absurd to pay over 10,000 euros for one bag. Like, you can get virtually any other designer handbag for a third of that price, and even like a third of that price, like 3,000 euros, is a lot of money for a bag. So, but as we say here in Sweden, even in hell there are different temperatures. I'm not sure if that's an international saying, but if not, you learn something new. I would never buy a designer handbag that I hadn't been thinking about for a while, and all of my bags have therefore been worn and loved as they should be. But with all of this said, I would love to hear your opinion. Like, do you agree with me? What is your opinion on designer handbags? Do you think I'm crazy, or can you relate to my love for designer handbags? Let me know in the comment section down below. I also want to emphasize that of course you can buy off-brand bags and they can serve you just as well. I have had a lot of bags that are non-designer handbags and I've used them for years and years as well. This is just my opinion about designer handbags, and I wanted to share some of my reasoning and opinions with you. As always, if you did enjoy today's video, then please feel free to share this video with a friend. Maybe leave a comment down below or subscribe to my channel. I wish you the best week ahead, and I will see you again next Sunday. Bye!